Environmental problems have grown completely out of proportion in a world that is becoming increasingly polluted. One of the ocean's greatest ambassadors, Doug Woodring of Project Kaisei, experienced his own call to action when he learned about the tremendous amount of plastic garbage in our oceans.
Doug, are you optimistic, pessimistic of the future? Where? Give us your honest assessment of where we're going.
Well, Steve, that's a tough one. I have to say that it's pretty scary to see what we're doing to our planet. And really, when you look at population growth, our resource depletion across the board, we need all hands on deck, basically. It doesn't matter if it's for the plastic issue or for fishing and shark depletion issues or forest, anything else. I mean, we need the young people to realize that the earth is starting to wobble in many ways, and I'm positive that we're going to make a big impact. I mean, we already have, but I can't wait to get some more funding and really do the stuff that we know we can do, because I'm excited to show that this is a whole new sort of business model and case model for the environment, and that corporates and companies can get seriously paid back, and the value will be there well beyond their investment if they get involved in these kind of global projects where there's engagement with communities on a big scale and you're really solving something. Because without the environment, there's no business. The economy is 100% subsidiary of the environment, and we really have forgotten that in the way that we do our business. So this is a call to action, I think, for everyone. The big wake-up call.
Doug established a group of like-minded individuals and researched the massive but largely unseen and unreported problem of plastics in our oceans. Doug is a creative aquapreneur who is also a race director of ocean swims and marathon swims, as well as relays in Hong Kong. But he devotes his time and considerable talents to raising awareness and offering solutions to this enormous problem. Prepare to be both saddened and surprised. Saddened by the extent of the estimated problem, and yet pleasantly surprised by Project Kaisei's proposed solutions, including the Plastic Disclosure Project and the Oceanic Big Five. Listen to a fellow open water swimmer and race director who is passionate about what he does to help the world. As Doug says, this is a big wake-up call. In this urgent episode of Open Water Wednesday, OpenWaterSource.com is pleased to present Doug Woodring. Your host for this exclusive presentation is Stephen Munatones, an International Marathon Swimming Hall of Fame inductee. He has prepared open water swimming materials used by NBC, USA Swimming, the Beijing Olympic Committee, the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, National Public Radio, and National Geographic Magazine. And now, Open Water Source is pleased to present your host, Stephen Munatones, with fellow open water swimmer, race director, and environmental activist, Doug Woodring.
Well, welcome to Open Water Wednesday. We have actually a special guest this week, Doug Woodring of Hong Kong. Good evening or good morning, Doug. I'm not quite sure.
Hi, Steve. It's morning here. How are you? I'm a day ahead of you now.
Got it. And are you heading down to the shoreline or heading to the office? What do you plan to do today?
Well, it's Monday, and I'm just catching up on all the sort of ocean work that I do. And interesting part about being out here is we get the sort of a day ahead of the rest of the world waking up. So my Mondays are a little bit slower than the rest of the world because everyone's on a Sunday schedule right now. But the weather's cool here. I've been out paddling recently, but it's around it doesn't get freezing in Hong Kong, but it gets into the 40s and low 50s, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the water never gets terribly cold like the ocean where you are.
Yeah. And for people who don't know you, you do a lot of stuff related to the ocean, a lot. From races to a pretty fantastic organization that you co-founded. Can you explain, in general terms, all the stuff that you do that touches our oceans?
Sure. A bit of background. I grew up in California, always in the water and swimming. I swam at Berkeley, and I've lived in Asia about 20 years now. And being in Hong Kong for a long time, Hong Kong's really, to me, it's like a mixture of New York and Hawaii put together, and people don't think of it that way. It's a huge city, but very compact, very international, but it's got the geography and the outdoor stuff like Hawaii does. It's got islands, big mountains coming out of the water, and warm water. So about 6 or 7 years ago, a friend of mine and I said, there's not enough open water swims in this part of the world and in Hong Kong. And so we started our first, called the Sheko Challenge, and it's shekochallenge.com. That's a beach-to-beach race. It's along a beautiful rocky cliff peninsula, which actually would look like you were in Hawaii if you were just taking your breaths, looking at the coastline. It's about a 2.5K race, and that has really grown and been an excellent race. We do that early July every year, and we always have musicians there at both beaches and people with bagpipes or trumpets, and kind of try to make it more of an interesting event rather than just a pure race. We do it starting at 2 in the afternoon, so it's not a early morning get-up, and that means that we can have a lot of social things going on into the evening or the late afternoon, and people like that. It's a little different than a normal race. But we always bring in ocean issues because this part of the world does get pollution, and unfortunately some of it comes from local sources and some from China. And when I talk about this pollution in this context, it's a lot of plastic and debris that causes problems when you're swimming. It's not so nice to swim through that kind of stuff. So the other race that I started about this year will be the 5th year is called the Clean Half. And that is partly because it's environmentally, it is on the clean half of Hong Kong Island. Right now we still can't swim through the harbor, but they used to do cross-harbor swims, and they are talking about bringing that back, but it's still not quite clean enough right in the middle of the harbor. But the backside is great, and that is a 15-kilometer race, and it's usually a relay race with 5 people, just similar to the Maui Channel crossing or the Tahoe swim, but it's also a solo, and last year we had quite a few soloists. Beautiful water temperature, and that website is thecleanhalf.com. That's always in October. This year it'll be October 10th. And another good race, and a really way to raise awareness about the ocean and the way we as swimmers who use it and sports people can really be ambassadors to the rest of the community and get the word out about the health of our ocean, whether that's pollution or fishing issues or other things related to the environment that we play in and enjoy.